Good morning, students. I, Professor Rajeshwari Sharma here, and I welcome you all in the e-learning session of GS College of Commerce, Wardha. So, in my previous lecture, we have started with our first chapter, that is economic planning, and today, we have learned the meaning, introduction, history, features, types, and the objectives of economic planning. In today's lecture, we are going to learn about the achievements of economic planning. See, whenever we do any type of planning, so when the plan is once implemented, so it is necessary to assess what are the achievements of the planning, what are the failures or the shortcomings of the planning, and why the goals have not been achieved. You might remember in our first lecture I have given you the example of completion of the assignments. So once you have allocated the resources that is time for the completion of assignment and you have submitted the assignment, then your achievement is going to be the grades that you are going to get. So you need to assess after completion of the assignment and submitting it, you need to assess your grades. In the same way, after economic planning has been formulated, it's implemented, plan has been reviewed to find out the achievements and the failures. So in today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the achievements of economic planning. So first one is impressive industrialization. See, what's there? Since its inception, India used to be an agrarian society. Most of the share in the GDP as well as in national income used to come from the agriculture sector. But during the second plan, focus has been shifted to higher industrial production, and due to which there was impressive industrialization in India. India has started achieving the self-sufficiency in many sectors like the basic industries, steel, cement, etc., and the consumer goods industry, and the industrial production has also increased, which led to the impressive industrialization in the country, which was one of the achievement of economic planning. Second is development of economic infrastructure. See, economic infrastructure consists of railways, roadways, transports, shipways, etc., which connects the market with each other, which leads to the enlargement of market. And all this economic infrastructure is the foundation, is the base for industrialization. So under various plans, provisions and the goals have been defined for the development of economic infrastructure. The grant has been given for the development of the economic infrastructure, which led to the creation of economic infrastructure in the country, which also led to boost in industrialization. So development of economic infrastructure was another achievement of economic planning. Third is rise in life expectancy. See, what is life expectancy? Life expectancy is the maximum number of years up to which an average person can survive. Before inception of the plan, due to the grave situation of the country, it was very low. But after the implementation of the 5-year plans, during the planned period, it has increased to the 65 years, and in 2020, at present, if we talk about this, so it is 70 years. Now, why? Life expectancy has been increased. So it's due to the development in the science and technology, development in the medical facilities, better improvement of living, better standard of living that has been provided to the people under by taking the various measures under the different plans. So rise in life expectancy in the country is another achievement. Then we have huge educational system. See, 1% increase in education leads to 3% increase in GDP. So under the 8th plan, India has focused on the concept of universalization of education, and as a result of which India has come up as a third largest educational system in the world, due to which we have got the skilled people, due to which we have been able to create the good and qualitative human capital for the growth and the development of our nation. So the development of huge educational system was another achievement of economic planning. Then the development of science and technology. See, science and technology These are the key factors for the growth and development of any economy. If there is lack of research and development, if there is lack of science and technology, so up to a certain extent, a nation is always dependent on other countries for its growth and development. Therefore, to achieve development in science and technology, various provisions various goals have been laid down under the various plans for the development and development of science and technology, due to which we have reduced our dependence on other foreign countries, and along with achievement of independence, we have started exporting the technicians to the other underdeveloped countries like the Middle East countries and the African countries, which was a huge achievement of the Indian economic planning. Then we have increase in social progress. So what is basically the social progress? Social progress is where a nation is able to provide the basic needs to its citizen, where the people are having a better standard of living. People are able to meet with their daily requirements. It is called as social progress. So due to the various measures taken under the plan, like for the creation of employment, for providing the basic facilities, for providing the free education, all these things have been done under the plan, because of which social progress has been achieved in the country. And during this period, the medical facilities has also been improved, because of which the death rate has sharply declined, and along with this, people are getting aware about the importance of the small families and all those things, because of which the birth rate has also declined very slowly. So the social and people have started getting the good standard of living, because of which there was increase in social progress within the plan period. The next one is diversification of export and imports. So as I have told you, in the various plan period, India has focused on increasing the agricultural production, the industrial production, the growth of service sector, because of which we have become self-reliant. In many matters, we have become self-reliant. Like we have become self-sufficient in consumer goods. We have started producing the cement, steel, etc. We have started entering the new areas like the chemicals, fertilizers, etc. Due to which we have our imports has been reduced, means there was import substitution, and we have also started producing in surplus that we used to export to the another nation. Therefore, there was a diversification of export. So, diversification of export and import substitution was another achievement of economic planning. Next is increase in food grain production. See, in our previous lecture we have discussed after independence and before the period of economic planning, India was in a very bad shape. We were in a stage of stagnation. We used to be dependent on other nations even for meeting our basic requirements like the food grains, right? So when we have started our first plan in year 1951, so our basic aim in that plan was to increase the food grain production in India and achieve the self-sufficiency in the production of food grain. So various measures has been taken towards that, and India has achieved the self-sufficiency in the production of food grain, and we have also started exporting the food grains to another nation. It was another achievement of economic planning. Then we have the self-reliance. See, it is very well said that the political independence without economic independence is meaningless. Political independence without economic independence is meaningless. Now, why it is said that? See, when you are not dependent on yourself, you are dependent on others for meeting your basic requirements, for the science and technology, for the growth and development of your nation. You are dependent on the others. So the others can intervene in your decision making process. You have to accept them, you have to listen to them, whether it's against your interest. So it doesn't lead to the full growth and development of your nation. Therefore, self-reliance is very important. Economic independence along with the political independence is very important. So as India have focused on the on increasing industrial production, agricultural production, the service sector, the science and technology, the development of a huge educational system. All these things have been considered while under various plans in the period of economic planning. So India has become self-reliant up to certain extent, which was the basic objectives of economics planning, and then it becomes the achievement. Next is increase in capital formation. What is basically the capital formation? Capital formation is channelizing the savings into investment so that it can be used for the productive purposes. It is not kept idle. In economic planning, various measures have been taken to improve the standard of living of people, for giving them better employment opportunity, because of which people have started getting aware about the importance of saving, and then they used to invest it also, which led to the capital formation and the productive investment in the country, because of which industrial growth has also been done. So increasing capital formation was another achievement of economic planning. So tomorrow we are going to discuss the shortcomings of economic planning. Thank you.